Let's imagine a statement being repeated again and again and again. Everyone's saying it, politicians are shouting it, and the media is amplifying it. There are messages about it all over your WhatsApp and social media, and the outrage is just building up all around you. And you end up believing it. Then, a year later, it becomes clear that this was a lie. A manipulation meant to create division. That's what's happening with the Tirupati Laddu and ghee controversy. For months, it was proposed that animal fat, such as beef tallow, pig fat, or fish oil, were mixed into the ghee used to prepare the laddu, the sacred prasadam. But lab findings from two of India's leading dairy science institutions have now found the exact opposite. There was no animal fat in the ghee. The chart sheet in the case shows just how easy it is to draw conclusions and manipulate people and their feelings. Let me explain. Before we go ahead, a quick thought. This story is a great example of how complicated issues can get flattened very quickly, especially when politics, religion, and television shouting matches collide. From the day this controversy broke, we were very careful. In fact, our first report quoted scientists, and now we chose to go through the full chart sheet, speak to scientists, and try to understand what the lab reports were actually saying. This kind of journalism and reporting takes time. It isn't always the loudest, but it's very important as misinformation can hurt people and deepen mistrust. If you value this kind of work, then do support us. You can scan the QR code on your screen and contribute any amount of your choice to support me and my team here. Now here's the first thing that was misrepresented. The ghee that was tested was never used to make the laddus at Tirupati. These were samples rejected by the Tirumala Tirupati Devasthanam itself, drawn from the tankers in the supply chain as confirmed already by the TTD's executive officer. So no one knows if devotees ever ended up eating laddus with adulterated ghee. So what exactly was tested and who tested it? The SIT chart sheet refers to two government institutions. One is the ICAR, National Dairy Research Institute in Karnal. The other is NDDB-CALF, the Center for Analysis and Learning in Livestock under the National Dairy Development Board in Anand. These are specialized labs that deal with dairy science, milk fat chemistry, and livestock analysis. At the ICAR Institute, the samples were tested using a PCR-based method. PCR is a molecular technique that looks for species-specific DNA. In simple terms, it can tell you whether biological traces from a particular animal are present. The conclusion here is unambiguous. Lard was not detected in any of the 4 samples provided. Lard is pig fat. One of the loudest allegations was that pork fat had been mixed into ghee that was meant for prasadam. This test did not find it at all. The second test of the findings came from NDDB-CALF, which analyzed the chemical and fatty acid profile of the samples. One key marker they looked for was cholesterol. Animal fats contain cholesterol. Plant oils do not. The report states that cholesterol was not detected in any of the ghee samples provided by the TTD. The report goes on to say that because cholesterol is absent, the chances of presence of beef tallow, lard, or even fish oil are very low. Now, some politicians and TV debates have clung to these very words very low, as if they leave the door open to animal fats. But this is how scientific language works. Labs deal in probability, not political certainty. What matters is the reason behind that phrase. No cholesterol means no presence of animal fat. That is the science. To understand this better, our reporter Anjana Meenakshi shared the lab findings with veterinary scientist Dr. Sagari Ramdas. She was clear about what the report actually means. The absence of cholesterol, she explained, indicates that animal fats like lard, beef tallow, or fish oil are not present. What the samples overwhelmingly show instead is palm oil and palm kernel oil. Dr. Sagari also pointed out something important about how scientific reports work. These reports rely heavily on probability. They avoid absolute language unless something is statistically significant. In this case, she said the samples clearly contained palm oil, palm stearin, palm kernel oil with very low quantities of real ghee. The same report is very clear about what was detected. In all 4 samples, beta-cytosterol, a plant sterol, was found. It's a marker for vegetable oils. Then there is the question of real ghee. One natural marker of milk fat is butyric acid. The report says that the level of butyric acid was below the limit of quantification, which means the quantity of actual ghee in these samples were very, very less. And what replaced it? According to the lab, the samples were primarily a mixture of palm oil, palm stearin, and palm kernel oil. These are cheap industrial plant-based fats commonly used in food processing. The report also flags something even more troubling. It notes that certain compounds may have been mixed to adjust values to comply with food safety specifications. The chart sheet mentions several additives like beta-carotene, acetic acid, ester, lactic acid, monoglycerides, and ghee flavor. In plain terms, chemicals were used to adjust color, smell, and test values to imitate real ghee. If you read the full chart sheet, these findings are detailed from pages 209 to 211. So what does the chart sheet ultimately support? It says there was a scam. AR Dairy Food Private Limited, based in Tamil Nadu, was named as the primary accused in the case. The chart sheet says that they allegedly prepared adulterated ghee at Bole Baba Organic Dairy Plant in Uttar Pradesh. How they did this? By mixing palm oils with very little ghee and chemicals to manipulate lab test values and maintain aroma. When read in full, the chart sheet strongly supports allegations of large-scale adulteration, economic fraud, and manipulation of food quality parameters. That's corruption, which was not the allegation raised by the TDP or Janasena last year. In fact, both CM Chandrababu Naidu and Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan were clear in their words last year.
నాసి రకమైన ఇంగ్రీడియంట్స్ కాకుండా ఎనిమల్ ఫ్యాట్ కూడా వాడారని.
Fish oil, beef tallow, lard.
They alleged animal fat was used. They said this using a lab report which said that it was probable, not a sure finding. That lab report from CALF Center clearly gave the probability of different kinds of adulterants which included animal fat. What sensible politicians would have done is to wait for the results to come. But they didn't want to. Politicians have their political excuses. But what was the media's? Instead of waiting, many rushed to dramatize the entire situation. They chose spectacle over verification of facts.
Hindus across India, and we broke the story 2 days back. I can tell you, shockwaves across India.
Look up what lard stands for. Lard is pig fat, ladies and gentlemen.
लड्डू इसका हमने सैंपल लिया और ये सैंपल लेने के बाद बेसिक लेवल पे जैसे टेस्ट करते हैं तो हम इसको इसमें डालेंगे और उसके बाद कुछ किस तरह के रीएजेंट्स होते हैं उन रीएजेंट्स को हम इसके अंदर ऐड करेंगे.
What was their excuse? Of course, not everyone was careless. There were media houses that also did careful reporting. And now, even after all these findings, some politicians continue to insist otherwise. For example, Andhra's Finance Minister Payyavula Keshav has claimed that page 35 of the supplementary chart sheet proves that animal fat adulteration was present. But here's the thing. Page 35 is part of a section titled Brief Facts of the Case. It simply lists allegations made in the complaint. It does not record forensic or lab conclusions. These conclusions appear much later in the document and they say something entirely different. Even now, Deputy Chief Minister Pawan Kalyan has publicly claimed that the report nowhere mentions the absence of animal fat. But the chart sheet explicitly states that cholesterol was not found and that lard was not detected. The science is already on the record. Journalists are supposed to slow things down, add context, and check claims. Here, too many did the exact opposite. And in doing so, they turned a serious case of food adulteration, organized corruption, and fraud into something far more explosive and far more misleading, even sinister. Because adulteration is real and it deserves accountability. But accusing a temple administration of deliberately using animal fat is a very different allegation, one that requires evidence and not just insinuation. And when science finally spoke, it did not say what people were told to believe.